Hi everybody, this is Matt. Thanks for watching and welcome back. Here we're going to talk about a safety issue regarding Glock slides with aftermarket parts such as strikers. This is when it goes from a, hey, this works, everything's cool, to I'm getting this part, this aftermarket accessory, it looks awesome, and then it suddenly goes into, oh crap, and hey, this is not safe. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Here's a slide from a Glock 17, in the middle a Glock 19, and over on the right is from a Glock 26. For the Glock 17, this is completely standard. So we have the original striker that's in here, and I'll hold this just a little bit up so you can see that. And if you notice, as I bump this with my thumb, you see that there is mechanical slop right there. Now, that's the way it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be able to wiggle back and forth, and when the safety plunger is depressed, it allows that to move forward, and then you hear it lock back with a strong detent. And I can push on this and nothing happens because this is doing its job. Now, with this Glock 19, I had problems with it from the get-go on installing this new striker. At first, it was downright frightening, and let me tell you why. Without depressing the safety plunger, this was moving freely. I could just simply go ahead and push it with my thumb and it would pass through. I've cleaned the channels thoroughly, everything. That part of it's good, but it's still unsafe. And why do I say that? There is no slack in this whatsoever. I can grab this thing and move it as hard as I want to, back and forth, and I have no mechanical slop, which means that if there's just the slightest amount of carbon buildup or any other kind of goo glop, whatever you want to call it, that ends up in here, guess what I'm going to go back to? I'm going to go back to where this is essentially free floating, which means that when this slide reciprocates all the way back and then comes forward, the striker can go ahead and impact the round, and that could lead to an unintentional discharge. So with it being this tight, I'm sorry, that just doesn't work for me. I have the same aftermarket striker here on this Glock 26, and I'm looking at almost an identical set of circumstances. The only exception being, if I grab onto this really hard, I can wiggle that thing maybe 4 thousandths of an inch. That's my guesstimate, 4 to 5 thousandths of an inch. And that is all. Can that create a problem? Absolutely, because if it doesn't lock back, because of, again, having any kind of debris inside of that channel, that can be an issue. So what you want to make sure whenever you install parts that are aftermarket or even the regular factory stuff, function check, safety check, make sure that everything works as advertised, the way that it should be, that nothing is moving untoward. So with this guy here, this is just enough slop to make me just a wee bit uncomfortable. Other than that, it's pretty smooth. But on this Glock 19, it's been rather problematic, to be honest with you. With this rig, it is not working for me, and there's no way that I'm going to take this to the range and try it out, because I know that I'm dealing with something that is very unsafe and just not going to happen. So just to verify for you, pardon me, as I move these aside, I'm going to go ahead and remove this very quickly for you. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this very quickly for you. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it in the right place. So I'm going reinstall the original striker. Now, one thing that you might be able to see, if I get this up here, when I go to measure that first deep cut, that cut number 1 on this aftermarket striker, appears to be not quite as deep. So that could be our issue, and most likely probably is. So I'm going to put the original back in here. And like I said, this will just take a second to press this guy down. Make sure that we're happy there. Yeah, we're always happy when we're bleeding there, right? Don't know how that happened, but it's been one of those days. All right, so here's the original back in here. And guess what? We have plenty of slack. So this is the way that it should be. So with the standard factory setup, this works just fine. With this guy here, no. Anyway, wanted to share that with you because before you go spending money on aftermarket parts for your Glock, these things can happen. Until next time, everybody be safe out there. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.